top 10 upcoming AAA games for 2021. Deathloop. Arcane Studios is bringing out a new IP with lots of time-bending twists. They wowed us with their first reveal in last year's E3, and now we're even more intrigued with their newest launch date trailer. This first-person shooter is all about two assassins locked in a vicious, never-ending cycle. It may be a concept we've seen countless times before. There is a certain freshness to it. World is lush with a filmic, steampunk atmosphere, and the combat feels fast and dynamic. With Arcane's reputation for good action adventures, the expectations are definitely high. Although it's a timed PS5 exclusive, it will also be available on the PC on May 21, 2021. Stalker 2. Microsoft presents the long-awaited sequel to GSC Game World's FPS survival. First announced just a year after the Call of Pripyat in 2010, the road to its release has been long, and we're glad we get to see it with the eye-popping visuals of the next-gen console. What we know so far is it's going to be an open-world game, with a hub that's wrapped in the dead gray of the nuclear zone. Even so, made on the Unreal Engine 4, their trailers so far have been absolutely mesmerizing, inviting us to wonder what horrific, mutated creatures and anomalies are in store for us. According to developers, it will be the biggest, most seamless world to date, with a non-linear to boot. It's set to release on the PC and Series X sometime in 2021. Resident Evil Village. Capcom has a new game in store for fans of their survival horror series. After the kind of disappointing release of the Resident Evil 3 remake, it will be great to see what fresh innovations they're planning for their first next-generation entry, providing the next chapter in Ethan's story. It seems more horrors await him in a new environment that's both beautiful and terrifying. Years after the events of RE7, Ethan's return to a peaceful life is disturbed by the arrival of the legendary character, Chris Redfield. With changes to lighting and landscapes, Village, despite its name, has a sense of scale that seems bigger than ever. And, with a more cinematic feel to it, this entry will stick to the first-person perspective, which means we're still getting a direct, in-your-face experience of their horrors and the attention to detail. New updates will arrive this winter, but it's set to release on the PC, PS5, and Series X in 2021. Halo Infinite. Xbox Series X. This Microsoft exclusive has unfortunately been delayed to next year. While the gameplay from their last presentation looked exciting, it just didn't have quite the next-gen punch that we expected. Since then, changes have been made within the development team, with some creators and executives leaving the project. And what that means for the game, well, we don't know yet, but either way, it's great to know that they're taking the time to perfect the game. In another chapter in the grand space adventure, what they definitely got right is the energy of its gameplay and its open maps, promising a free-to-play multiplayer mode. It's just more good news for FPS fans on the Series X once it finally arrives sometime next year. Ratchet and Clank. Rift Apart. For the uninitiated, this might not have the template you'd expect from a AAA game, but this is a definitive classic that's only made better with the features of the PlayStation 5. From the same studio that brought us Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Insomniac Games has dedicated their skills to modernizing the adventures of the famous duo. Instead of swinging around New York, Rift Apart is set in a futuristic city of robots and anthropomorphic animals. From their recent gameplay demos, it's exactly as lively and dynamic as you'd expect from an Insomniac title. On top of that, it even displays the processing power of the PS5 SSDs with the game's time jumps that switches instantly from one environment to the next. The sheer scale of the game is just amazing, and if you're not a fan, this might be a good place to start. It's expected to release in the first half of next year. Horizon Forbidden West. West will be one of many games that will usher their franchise to the next gen, and of course a massive jump in visuals will be expected. But it does seem that this new entry will deliver in giving us a whole load of things to look at, offering a whole new frontier to explore. The Forbidden West title refers to stretches from Utah to the Pacific Ocean, in between Aloy's quest to find the source of a plague that kills everything it touches. We'll see vast expanses of beautiful sand dunes, deserts, oceans, and more. And with the PS5's power, the immersion will be at an all-new level of high. The lack of loading screens and the spatial audio in particular will help us dive fully into an amazing new story. No set release date yet, but the PlayStation exclusive is expected to arrive in 2021. Gotham Knights. For a city tied so closely to the Caped Crusader, WB is going in a new direction in this upcoming open-world adventure. Instead of another jaunt as the Dark Knight, this game explores a story where Batman is dead and a new breed of heroes is needed to fill his place. In this case, it's up to Batgirl, Nightwing, Red Hood, and Robin. As an open-world game, It will offer 5 boroughs to patrol over and explore, giving us plenty of opportunities to play around with each character. Coming from developers who created Assassin's Creed Origins, Gotham Knights will also be injecting RPG elements into a series more at ease with Rocksteady's action-adventure formula. Each hero will act as a certain class and will be customizable with crafted weapons. What with the success of Origins, we're looking to see how it plays out for the series when it releases on the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and the next-gen consoles next year. Hogwarts Legacy. It feels like the world got back some of its magic with the announcement of this new game. From the beloved series, we only have an announcement trailer so far, but it's done enough to tickle our imaginations about what's to come. An open-world experience, it invites us to insert ourselves into Hogwarts' familiar halls and moving staircases. Set in the 1800s, we won't be seeing Harry Potter and the original gang, but playing as a student with unique ancient powers, we get to be the child wonder whose decisions change the fate of the wizarding world. It won't just be about which classes to take, it will also ask us to make moral choices that determine the kind of wizards we are. With a hub that extends far out the castle walls like Forbidden Forest in Hogsmeade, there's just so much to be excited for. It's set to release on PC, PS4, Xbox One, and next-gen consoles in 2021. God of War Ragnarok. We may only have a teaser trailer, but it's still one of the biggest announcements this year. After the overwhelming success of 2018's God of War, the first in a long while, it's not surprising that people want more, and it's a relief that we're getting it this soon. The first game was a showcase of not just the power of the PlayStation 4, but also the outpour of talent from its developers. It not only added a new layer for Kratos with the introduction of Atreus, but it was also a marvel in terms of gameplay and graphics. Now, the God of War has more on the line as Ragnarok nears, and we get to witness it with the breathtaking power of the PlayStation 5. We really don't have much to go on yet, but with a release date already in tow, we eagerly await its arrival in 2021. Far Cry 6. The iconic series has a brand new villain for the books. In this entry, Giancarlo Esposito plays the role of Anton Castillo, the calculating dictator to a country simmering with rage. That country is Yara, a fictional nation whose capital, Esperanza, will be one of the first urban settings in the series, and also the biggest. In it, we get to roam around as Danny Rojas, either as male or female, who leads the uprising using guerrilla tactics and an array of weapons. It's an interesting topic to explore, and it seems to show the opposing sides of the revolutionary coin. With the addition of full cutscenes with a voiced protagonist, it will be exciting to see the push and pull of the two characters. After a long delay, we can finally get a piece of the action when it comes to PC, PS4, Xbox One, Stadia, Luna, and the next-gen consoles in 2021.